Hey everyone, Sean Smith here from Dedicated Financial GBC in Roseland, Minnesota. We're coming to you with some big news. We have promoted Matt Elhadad to our new president. Matt, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's exciting for you, and quite frankly, I feel like equally excited. This has been a long time coming to grow the company to this point to where it made sense. But some background on Matt and I from my position. Matt and I actually went to high school together, and by happenstance ran into each other at the Global Leadership Summit years ago, and just reconnected and connected on Facebook and just connected that way. And then when the pandemic hit, we reconnected on some things and did some consulting work together, and that was all part of my deep state ploy to recruit you into Dedicated. So, but why don't we start out just for refresher, if someone doesn't know you, didn't watch the older interview with you, maybe you could give folks your background.
Okay, well, you did a good job with your plan, because for the last quarter of a century, it sounds crazy to think about that. I've worked for only 3 companies, including Dedicated. So my career started out at Blockbuster Video. I was there for almost 10 years. I was a business unit manager and ran a market training program, and then closed my career there as a multi-unit manager and leader there. And then I went to work for a startup, which was a really awesome experience, called Ride Makers, and I was there 13 years, and we did some awesome things and worked with companies like Disney and Warner Brothers and Ford and GM and Dodge, and so that was a really awesome experience as well. And so, as you mentioned, you recruited me over to Dedicated, and we've been growing and doing some amazing things ever since.
Yeah, I mean, so what I took from that is you just really job hop a lot.
I do, yes.
And, but, I think for me, there is a secret sauce, not just to what we do in business and how we do it, but who is on our team. And I think when you work at Dedicated and you start to figure out that pretty quickly after the first couple of months, like, this is different. And so I think my eyesight for that has become better as I've realized what works in our environment and what doesn't. So I saw that right away as an opportunity. And also, from my perspective, you possess your strong suits are basically all the opposite of mine. So everything you're great at, I suck at, and so there's a great synergy there, which is why I think we work well together and why it's worked out so well at Dedicated over the last couple of years. So I guess I'd be interested to know, now that you've been with Dedicated for a while, and as you look at this through a new lens, what sticks out now, maybe more than when you first did the interview and first started with the company, about Dedicated, about where we're at and where we're going?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing that is different is that corporate profits aren't the center of what we do. The nucleus here is really our impact and what sort of impact we can make on, those nonprofit organizations and really the end stakeholders that they serve. And so that's really cool, being able to work through all of our efforts and tie that out to a metric that we either give or contribute or serve towards. And so I really think that's exciting, and that's different from any company I've worked at. And then I think you touched on the people, and the people are really what makes the secret sauce of Dedicated. The culture is, kind of the culmination of all of those individuals, and bringing their efforts together, deliver something really amazing outside of these doors.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I was having a conversation earlier specifically about Maddie, who's behind the camera, and just about how, like, if I need something, or if the company needs something, and whether it's an extra 30 minutes or like, hey, here's a rush project or whatever, I think there's just such a different mentality, because our team is really about that mission first, that they understand it, and that we wouldn't ask them to do something that doesn't make sense towards the mission. So if we're asking something, it's going to logically make sense that, geez, this is important to the mission of Dedicated. So it's not what's important to the bottom line so the company can make more money. It's that it's going to immediately, we're asking something, maybe it's a little over and above on something, but it is important to the mission. So yeah, I want to be a part of getting that done, and that's a big difference, I think, when you're mission driven, and it drives a different just a team value set, and the care and the work product, and how we treat one another, things like that I've never experienced. So I'm glad you pick up on that.
Yeah.
How do you see the promotion just really impacting dedicated? Both, I would say, internally and externally.
Yeah. I mean, so I think it's really just an extension of a lot of what I've been doing. I think the main difference is I'll get to focus a little bit more on growth, innovation, and which I'm really excited about, and then certainly strategy. For the internal team, it'll really just be serving them and their needs so that they can accomplish whatever goals professionally and personally that they have. And for our clients, I have a deep fascination with producing for them and providing excellent service. I have a background in that. I have a history of improving that. I think we're doing a great job thus far, but there's always room for improvement. We've got new clients and new industry verticals that we're bringing on, and so those pose new challenges that we're ready to meet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. I think that's one of the cool things about your background is it's a hyper passion of mine, is that, in our industry, one of the things I find so funny is that a common feedback is basically our competition tells our clientele, like, well, this is the way we do it.
Mm-hmm.
And my philosophy has always been, if you're a service provider, your goal is to optimize that service for your clientele, and really looking at it almost empathetically from their shoes, and how can I make their life better? How can I make the internal person for a client more successful? Mm-hmm. And that's something you already have spent so many years of your career doing, that I already feel that's been an area of focus, but I get excited about even going to that next level. So I'm very excited about that. What are you most excited about for the new role?
Well, one of the things I love to do most in business and really in life is lead leaders. And so that's what's really exciting to me. I've had the chance to do that here, but from this role, I'll be able to do that, kind of focusing on some different areas of the business and really have an impact of service that extends beyond what I've been doing so far. So that's humbling and honoring, and I take it very seriously, but I look forward to the opportunity to just be there and help other leaders be better. And really the best they can be. We've got a great pool of talent here that cares about the mission, and so it's certainly not an uphill battle to do that, but I certainly think that I can offer some wisdom and my experience to help them maximize their impact in their roles.
I would agree with that for sure. As you look forward to the future and you see, you're behind the scenes and have been in everything now, and you know what's on the horizon. What do you think the future looks like for Dedicated from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, sounds cliche, but very bright. We've got a lot of things both internally with the core of Dedicated in terms of growth of services. We're really staged to be one of the premier business process outsourcing organizations in our field, and so extending our services beyond what we had a year ago is a part of that step. Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of other projects, some that we can't really talk about publicly yet. Not quite yet. But we're really focused on talent, process, technology, and then growing the talent base of our people internally. And through all of those different leverage points, we're really prepared for staggering growth and that next inflection point. And so we've been working hard over the past several months and really a couple of years to prepare for that. The last year, we've had a couple of those inflection points with either big projects from clients or kind of challenges that in terms of our business, and we've met those challenges really well, and so that provides us that experience. But really, we've built a team now to really cover all the bases, and so I'm super excited with what we have at the core of Dedicated. I'll see some folks out there watching this at conferences coming up, and we've just got a lot of really exciting stuff in the hopper. And then really our impact extending to some of the other organizations that we partner with, both through our nonprofit organizations, and you guys have probably seen online some connections we have with Love, Give, Repeat, for example. And so these are other organizations outside of the dedicated, portfolio, if you will, that are really making an impact. And so just to be able to see some of those and be a part of that in a fractional way is really exciting.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I get excited about even hopping in on that one, hijacking the interview a little bit, just to say is that there are some really tremendous things we've accomplished in the last 2 years, from taking on a massive PPP project that was really hiring probably over 90 folks.
We spun up a call center over a weekend. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, we spun up a call center that led to hiring 90 people in like 30 days to run a massive call center. And we had the space to do it. We had the technology to do it. I think we crushed that, and we were only given more responsibility the longer that project went on. Mm-hmm. We, as well as other things that have come up, we have some really big innovations on our legal side, mm-hmm. on the first party processing side, and just in general, bankruptcy monitoring services that are really dialed in, thanks to Jonathan on the general counsel side and the legal team. And mm-hmm. There's just so much, from also our early stage product. I mean, that to me is going to be a game changer in the industry in general. And then back to the technology, I would agree too, is there's just some massive technology streamlining and efficiency things that we have going that you'll really be overseeing that. And Matt's great at the details. And so I look forward as well for you to meet a lot of my friends, a lot of you folks out there. Matt will be down at the Funders Forum here coming up. He'll be out at NEFA here in a month, which will probably be a lot closer once this airs.
Yep.
As well as this fall to some of the ELFA, NEFA, AACFB, things like that. So a lot of you are going to get an opportunity to meet Matt. He'll definitely be out on the circuit, meeting our clients and meeting our industry friends. So again, Matt, congrats and thank you. Most importantly, I'm humbled and honored that you and our other leaders are continually willing to follow me into this great mission that we've really taken on to really change the world with business, and I mean that. I think we already are doing that. I think we've now fed over 1 million children. We've helped hundreds of slave children and et cetera, mm-hmm. and we're only getting started with that mission. Yeah. And I'm very humbled and thankful to have you be willing to take on this role and responsibility, and pun intended, be dedicated to dedicated. So thank you, and thank all of you for making this possible as well by supporting Dedicated, our clients out there. You two have been so sold out to the mission. I'm astounded on a regular basis from the referrals we get to people even at industry conferences, really the way they promote our brand and things like that. And there's so many advocates out there and just close friends I've developed, and they've made growth like this and having Matt in this situation also possible. So thank you for that. Thank you, Matt. And thank you all for tuning in as always, and God bless.